tipped. Leonard with the steal. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
Great defense. He anticipated the play and got there first.
Yeah, I think he got there in time. Nice play.
And Lillard gets double teamed. On the wing, Batum. Portland again missing. On offense, here are the Spurs. They're on a 14-5 run.
And you look at the story defensively in this game. I mean, they've gone backwards in the second half. A little too casual for me. It's costing them. They're paying for it.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. And it's Duncan penetrating. He dishes it to Parker. Over in the corner, Green. Clock at 6. It's Parker outside. And it's Portland with the rebound. Leonard's got 4 rebounds now tonight. So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
Well, he's got to get everybody on the same page. I mean, that's the reason for this timeout. And if that happens, I think they can improve and start playing better.
You know, it's a coach's job to always try to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of the opponent and to look for that extra edge if you can. And I think he feels like he might have seen one.
Just 4 seconds left to play in the third.
And they forced the mid.
Spurs leading by 6. Leonard and Duncan are the pair at forward. Ginobili out there with Green. And it's Splitter in the pivot spot manning the middle. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. And Damian Lillard with the jam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Now here's Ginobili. The second chance effort. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Spurs.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively. They've been turning those turnovers into points.
Well, going into last season, Thiago Splitter accepting a 4-year, $36 million extension, Steve, from the Spurs.
A lot of people questioned the value of that contract, but Splitter more than earned it with his play throughout the regular season and in the playoffs. He's versatile, he can pass, he can defend, and even though his numbers were down a little bit last year, he made tremendous impact just in terms of their interior play. Terrific defensive play to cut him off and square up.
And he took a shot, excellent toughness to get in there and make a play. I love that kind of work.
They'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
And Splitter clearly, when you look at him offensively, is not a floor spacer. He's a guy who's going to finish inside. He's going to set solid screens. Even though he plays close to the basket, his field goal percentage dropped by almost 10% over the last couple of seasons. He was once superb in that area. Now he's just rock solid. But with the Spurs in his role, rock solid is good enough.
Lopez, he's checked in for Portland. Swallow comes in for Crabb. And it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession.
16 seconds on the shot clock. 16.
Ginobili with the steal. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. Lopez with the block. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession.
17 seconds on the shot clock. 17.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Batum with the steal. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. Lillard with the ball.
Well, you talk about clutch plays, defensively and offensively. We saw both right there.
Well, neither team can afford mistakes. You have to manage the clock and play smart here in the waning moments. Splitter still shooting over 90% of his shots in the paint, but less effective down low. Injuries perhaps a factor. We'll see if he can bounce back. Offensively, guys, it seems like they've turned a corner.
Yeah, much better half since they changed baskets. I mean, they're looking very strong and confident.
We've got it. NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to this broadcast of NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan, and with me today, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Aldridge and Leonard, the combo inside. Aflalo is out there with Damian Lillard. And it's Batum in the 3 spot. On defense, the Spurs. And the whistle blows. It'll be on Thiago Splitter. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Lillard, the pass to Aldridge.
You know, as great as Aldridge was in the first half of last year, you felt like he was going to really kick it into overdrive in the second half of the season because of his all-star snub.
When Aldridge in saying he should have been a starter in last year's all-star game, probably comparing the Blazers' record at the time to that of Kevin Love's of Minnesota.
Yeah, but it's not just team success. I mean, one thing for Aldridge, he takes some tough shots. A 23-point per game score, but his shooting efficiency was actually below average last season.
Duncan with this screen on Lillard. Leonard with no one around. And it's good in the assist by Parker.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Aldridge can do so many things on a basketball floor. It shouldn't really come as a surprise when he switches his style up. Last year, Thought he played a lot more with his back to the basket.
And to add what you said about Aldridge, the years before his last season, he tended to face up to the basket and Clark shoot over people, which was fine as he was so gifted at it.
But I think with the change to the Blazers' offensive schemes and just the way the team wanted to approach the season, they needed more of a back-to-the-basket guy, and Aldridge was as dominant as ever stepping.
Oh, look out! It's not possible what we just thought kept.
Not probable, but it is possible, partner.
It's possible. Not probable. It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark.
San Antonio making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. Outside, Green. Back to Ginobili. They double-team Ginobili. And the wide-open shot from Green. And all around the rim that time before dropping in.
It was almost like he was surprised to be that wide open, yet he knocked it down.
And Lillard throws it down. Tremendous stuff from a guy, Clark, we think more of for his passing.
Yeah, but he's got tremendous leaping ability and a surplus supply, too.
Well, that's a great aggressive move and 2 big points, too.
Shot clock at 6. Three-pointer. That's good. Lillard's got 7 points in the game. For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far.
It's happened before, and we've seen it happen again. The Spurs were the best team in the West last season and secured the top seed, not only in the West, but throughout the NBA.
Steve, the Spurs adding another banner last season as they finished with the best record in the Western Conference. 38 wins in conference play. Help them with that.
Really, it's the fact that with their offense and the discipline they play with, they're going to cause trouble for any team playing any style. And I didn't think there was anybody out west that the Spurs feared.
Damian Lillard drafted with the 6th pick back in 2011. That pick, guys, acquired from the Nets in an exchange for Gerald Wallace. Steve, I'd say a pretty good trade for the Blazers.
Yeah, well, remember the Nets were in win-now mode. They were trying to keep Darren Williams happy, so they felt like the trade for Wallace would do that. The Blazers, in turn, I mean, they were rebuilding, and so they found the perfect deal at the right time and ended up drafting the future Rookie of the Year.
And Lillard's star is continuing to rise, but you know, he still thrives on that underdog status. He shrugs off the hype, doesn't really let it affect him. Still looks at himself as the 2-star recruit from Weber State, fighting for respect, and it's serving him well as he continues to grow as an NBA player.
The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. It's stolen by Duncan. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
They're fortunate that one was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
Duncan, a screen. On the wing, Green. Defended by Batum. It's Ginobili with the drive. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
Second free throw, no good. Shot and game clock separated by 5. And now it's a double-digit lead.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Boy, the field goal percentage is fantastic. Exactly the kind of start they were hoping for.
Leonard. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Here's the 3. Kicks it out to Lillard. A 3-ball. And released it in time, but it's off the mark.